Now, each Sunday at this time, we're going to have a look at the big stories and the big issues in crime this week. And of course, to guide you through it all is Jackie Hames, who served with the Met for 30 years. Morning, Jackie.
Morning,
good to see you as
Stephen.
always. Well, we're starting with a day in the life of Surrey search and rescue. Now, most people, of course, have heard of mountain rescue, of course, of the incredible work they do, or Coast Guard rescue, but perhaps not of its sister Lowland Rescue. Now, Surrey Search and Rescue are members of this group. The 4-year-old team of 70 volunteers spend their spare time helping police find missing people. They're available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they're trained in searching woodland, farmland, town centres, as well as water areas. And they were deployed, actually, to help people caught up in the floods earlier this year. Now, clearly an incredible team, Jackie. You've spent a bit of time with these guys, haven't you?
Yeah, I spent an afternoon with them, as you can see there, just looking at what they can achieve. And in fact, when you think about it, they've been called out 70 times already this year. You know, that's a big demand on people who are just volunteers, giving up their holidays and their days off in order to serve the public and look for missing, vulnerable people and children. And here's the report.
70 years
This is your search area, this field and all the surrounding woodland. I'm Seamus Cairns from Surrey Search and Rescue. It's a team of unpaid specialists who donate their time to search for missing people alongside Surrey Police.
And what are they set up to do?
They are primarily there to find lost and missing vulnerable people, normally people suffering from Alzheimer's, dementia or lost and missing children. And our teams will go out and search on foot or with search dogs, or out and search rivers and lakes on boats.
And they're presumably given quite a lot of training.
Absolutely. When our recruits join the team, they go through 6 months of intensive training before then they're made operational, and then it's an ongoing weekly training after that.
And what are you doing here today?
Today we're doing a couple of exercises. So we're about to do a missing person man overboard reported on the river.
Control boat 1, go ahead, over.
Yes. Exercise, men overboard, lining the river.
Head first, yeah?
So we've got a team of 70 unpaid specialists who are available 24 hours a day in between when they've got their regular daytime working commitments, as well as 2 blue light vehicles and a rescue boat to assist Surrey Police looking for missing people.
You say unpaid assistance, you're talking about volunteers, I suppose, aren't you?
All our guys give their time and their expert knowledge absolutely free of charge.
And how are you funded?
Completely by donations and grants. We don't receive any money from the government, so it's all from people's kind donations.
And how challenging was it for the unit during the awful floods we had just a few months ago around this area?
It was quite difficult. It was a 7-day deployment, sort of 12-hour shifts out there on the water. We had neighbouring teams coming in to assist us, and there was a lot of rescuing people from their homes, and then towards the later part of the week bringing medicine, food, water supplies out to the people that had decided to stick it through.
Just making sure everything's all right. Yeah, no worries. Leave you to it, guys, then. Thanks very much.
Okay, guys. We're looking for a Barry Smith, 70 years of age. He has dementia. Hasn't taken his meds recently. It's been about a day and a half. What we're going to do, we're going to search the boundary first, okay? Because we've got a clear sight of all the ground here, so we'll do the border first, okay? Let's go.
So we've seen the unit being deployed. What have they been told to do?
They're now looking for a missing man. Has been reported and missing in the early hours of this morning from a care home. So the team will now search through the areas of woodland and heathland in the area, hopefully trying to find him on this regular walking route of his.
And how do they go about that?
So they'll look at the areas that he's most likely to be found in, and for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, it's normally going to be around obstacles, so trees, nettles, brambles, anywhere where they will just walk until they get stuck and stopped. It's our biggest number of cases that we get each year. More than 50% of our call-outs are for the elderly who are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia.
How often do you get called out?
It varies. It sometimes we'll go months without anything, and then all of a sudden we'll have 3 in one day. So so far we're just under 50, so it's looking like it's going to be a record year. Last year we had 76. Okay, Mandy, this is your search area, this field and all the surrounding woodland, looking for a missing female. Right. Off you go.
Okay. Ready? Is she? Ready.
So we've got 6 operational dogs in the team at the moment and another 6 in training.
And what are they trained to do?
They're trained to find missing people. So Sakari is an air scenting dog. They're trained to find any human scent. So that could be the missing person we're looking for, and occasionally they could even find someone we're not looking for.
You can use any type of dog for this. We see police dogs, you know, with German Shepherds, but you could use any type for this,
yes,
presumably.
Yeah, definitely. We've got tiny little dogs out to the great big dogs like Sakari. Any dog, as long as it's got a high play drive and a real want to play hide and seek effectively, then we'll take all sorts as long as they find them.
The dogs are volunteers as well, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. They're all their owners' pets. None of them live in kennels. Most of them are naughty and sleep on the sofa when no one's looking and all the rest of it. So they're really cared for and loved before they come into the team. They're not specifically search and rescue dogs since birth.
What strikes me with this, Jackie, is that clearly a lot of the work they're doing is very skilled, some of it very dangerous, but it's a whole range of age groups that we saw in your report there. I mean, a lot of people putting themselves out here.
They are. They're completely, as you said, completely voluntary. They come forward, they go through quite a long period of training, and they have regular training days as well, which was what was happening there. And earlier on, they've been working with the local fire brigade and the police on a training exercise as well. So they work very much with all the other emergency services. And the dedication is extraordinary. You know, they were giving up their days off, taking holiday from work to do this, and it's clear that as you can see, the equipment they've got there, the dogs are voluntary as well. Really? The dogs are trained by the search and rescue teams, and they do air sense as well, as apart from the usual tracking that we're used to seeing with dogs. They scent in the air, so it does depend a little bit on the wind, but it means that they don't have to wait until they find something with the person's scent on it. It means that they can go in straight away and find a person. So what they're doing is actually fantastic work, but not many people know about it.
And from your experience at the Metropolitan Police, how important are groups like this, whether it be this type of rescue or even mountain rescue, coastal rescue, to the actual emergency services, the men and women who are paid for their time?
Well, it's about volume of people as well, and that expertise to call on at a moment's notice. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that number of police officers into an area who are specially trained in this sort of work. So it's invaluable to the police service, but more importantly, it's invaluable to the families of children and vulnerable adults, sick people who need to be found quickly, and getting to people to a scene in order to conduct this sort of search is difficult even for the police service.
I mean, do you think we forget how many people, vulnerable people, do go missing? I mean, there's often a headline when it's a young child for obvious reasons, and for the tragic cases we've seen over recent years. But often, as you said, that elderly people, people who've not taken medication, may have some sort of mental health issue. I mean, these are people who do need to be found very quickly, aren't they?
They are. When you think Surrey alone had 2,000 or just over 2,000 missing people last year that the search and rescue team were asked to sort of assist with. That's a huge number of people, and we'll find out with one of our missing people later on. If you've got Alzheimer's or dementia, it's very easy to suddenly lose track of where you are, not take your medication and be lost in the wilderness. These people are an absolute lifeline for that.
Brilliant stuff. Well, let's hope they get the recognition they deserve. Jackie, thank you. And as Jackie mentioned...